Carl and Damon here from Brrraains A Head-Banging Life, gbhblofficial for short, and it's They Made What Into a TV series. Last of Us, episode number 4. Yes, we're in person because it just so much timed nicely that we were planning a recording session today, and we're like, cool, we'll do episode 4 in person. This is Please Hold To My Hand, which I thought for ages was a goddamn grammatical error, because I couldn't, please hold to my hand. Please, and I couldn't, because I was like, surely it means please hold my hand.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't, but it is Please Hold To My Hand. Directed by Jeremy Webb and written by Craig Mazin. We're all on a come down. We're all on a come down from episode 3, of course. Knowing that ultimately that was always going to be a one-off potentially, and that we weren't going to, the next episode might have to scale things back and slow things down.
Yep.
I went in prepared for that. And because of that, I came away satisfied enough with this episode. I do think this episode is all about stuff for the future rather than stuff for right now in it. I don't know if that's how you felt.
Yeah, so I view this episode as okay for me. Okay.
Oh, it'd be better than okay. I'd say it was still a good episode.
I don't know. I enjoyed it.
Yep.
I enjoyed the story. I enjoyed the
development
of the relationship between Joel and
Ellie.
Ellie, I forgot her name then. So I enjoyed that. I was disappointed that we didn't see a lot of we didn't see none of the creatures or any indication or signs of them. So
We do get an indication.
You mean the floor smashing?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, like, physically.
It's a set. Right. Okay. Right. I don't know if I agree with you in that. I'm very much in the mind that I enjoy a slow burn and that I know things are coming. I kind of see this as a movie almost to a certain degree, and this would, this is where. Bear in mind what we got in the last episode as well. I don't necessarily think that this was the most interesting overall, and I certainly wouldn't put it up like it's the highlight of the show to the point. But what it did for me, it's a setup episode for things to come. Introducing new characters, developing and leading the relationship of Joel and Ellie a little bit further down the road, and implying that something big is coming. Yeah, that to me was cool enough.
Yeah, I mean, for me, one of my most favourite part in this episode is the joke scene.
Yes,
because it's so brilliant. Because again, both main cast are brilliant.
Yep.
I mean, Pedro Pascal is brilliant.
Yeah, and Bella Ramsey.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Yeah, but I said they're both.
Really they're great in this. This is a good example of their brilliance in it, I think, as well.
They click too, man. You actually believe that they're father and daughter because they click.
I do think like the development and the push of that is nice to sort of see. I don't think we're quite there yet in regards to that. And the way they do little hints as well, like when Joel sleeps. He sleeps with his back to her and stuff like that. I thought was an interesting touch I noticed earlier on in the woods. The air of tension that always exists in this world is very heavy, very strong, I personally think. I noticed that when they're in the woods, I thought it was really cool to sort of see that Joel wouldn't go to sleep. He was wary and on watch and elements like that. This obviously introduces new characters as well. I'm actually going to touch upon them, the actors, because they play significant roles now and will in the future. Particularly Melanie Linsky, who plays Kathleen. She's the leader of a revolutionary movement in Kansas City. She's an original character created as the leader of a group of hunters who actually appeared in the game. So she's an original one. Cool. And the other is Jeffrey Pierce as Perry, a rebel in the quarantine zone. And again, an original character in the show. But I thought this was really interesting. He portrayed Tommy in the video games. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I thought that was really interesting. That's cool, yeah. So basically, the plot surrounds traveling. This is a travels thing where traveling from Missouri and away to Wyoming to basically find Tommy. That's the plan. Now Joel and Ellie end up taking a shortcut through the ruins of Kansas City. For all you video game lovers, this sequence is all about the video game. In the back of the car, the porn magazines, it's all the tape. This is all directly from the video game. Thing is, how it works is because if you don't know that, it's still just a good scene. Yeah, definitely, yeah. I love that it's when they take a break. I love the isolation. They do a really great job of making this world feel really empty. And that's the other thing I think, perhaps why you shouldn't be expecting like constant roaming zombies and stuff like that, monsters, infected, is because the world is isolated. As Joel says, they're in a remote location. There isn't going to be any infected around. No,
of course not. But obviously, it is called The Last of Us 2. So
yes, of course, there isn't many people left, so there's that aspect too.
What did you think about again the scenery? Because
Beautiful.
there's a scene when they drive over like the bridge and they zoom and it's just on a boat turned
The
over.
showcase of...
yeah.
Well, I said to my wife, I was like, I know it's CG. I know it's green screen and all that, but it doesn't look it.
No,
Like, there's a part where the car's driving down a motorway, effectively.
Yeah.
And it's all overgrown and stuff. And I was like, man, that looks great. I really, really do. I absolutely loved it. They obviously take a break. During this, Ellie's found a book of puns and is basically trying to make Joel laugh. Which is just fun. It's just fun. A little bit of relaxation, as it were. But arriving in Kansas City, I love this scene. And I loved it. I love this because there's a bus blocking their route. And Joel gets up close, looks for it, and he looks through the gap between the bus and notices that the area beyond it is completely empty.
Yep.
That is not an accident then.
Nope.
That was put there. I thought that was great.
Yeah.
So, of course, I'm going to take a detour. He's very aware and very wary. They get ambushed. The man staggers out and is like, help me, help me, help me. And Joel's like, I ain't helping him, and just drives off. But it is an ambush and end up crashing their car, coming under fire. But Joel is able to kill 2 of them. But a third manages to overpower him. But Ellie saves him by shooting the man in the back.
Yep.
That's a pretty harrowing scene. I think this is where you get really strong acting.
Yes.
Where, like, you know, this person who's been shot in the back is not dead, is pleading for his life, and like, because that's a part of shooting someone that you don't often see. You know, you shoot them, they're dead, and you move on. Well, he didn't die.
Nope.
And he's hurt, and he's in pain, and he's desperate to live.
Yeah, so then obviously you can tell obviously that Joel's annoyed at her for coming out. He's grateful that she helped him.
Yeah.
But he's furious that she put herself at risk.
I mean, thankfully, I don't think that ever really comes across.
No.
I don't think, like, I wouldn't necessarily say I thought he was
Or
furious.
just disappointed, I think.
I think it's more just shocked because the whole gun thing as well. That she actually got a gun and so on. But he doesn't go down the route of admonishing her for that. He seems to avoid doing that. Instead, seems to worry that the mental toll it will have taken on her to actually pull that trigger. Seems more concerned about that than anything else. We then cut to meet Kathleen, who's basically interrogating this group's doctor who used to work for Fedra. It seems like they took over this area from Fedra, and Fedra, when they were previously here, was obviously using people as spies to rat out usurpers and people like that. And she's looking for a particular person named Henry, who she's basically not just hunting, but seems desperate. And I said to Lou, how much of a hypocrite is that? It's exactly what Fedra did. You're doing as well. Henry, of course, is a character from the game. Not actually in this, well, is, but very briefly in the final shot of the episode. And sends a second in command of Perry, but he wants to show us something and takes her down to a lower part of a basement where the ground is crumbling and you see it shifting, implying that the infected are burying their way into the city.
Yep.
But she's kind of like, this is a problem for later. And I'm like, no, it's not. This is a problem for now. This is a problem for now. But I guess this is to sort of show that she is so obsessed with finding these interlopers, Henry, and the people that may have betrayed them in the past. I did like the scene of her going and just killing the doctor outright, I guess to prove a point or something like that. It kind of shows she's got a ruthless streak as well.
Yep.
Minor role, thought she seemed cool.
Yeah.
Thought I'm intrigued to see what her role is in this.
Yep, definitely.
And during this, Joel and Ellie have stayed hidden, but eventually decide to go to a high rise to basically get up high, bed down for the night where they're safe, and hopefully get a better view of the city where they can work out their exit strategy.
Yeah.
All makes complete sense. There you get one of the best scenes as you get the pun. What is it? Diarrhea.
Yeah. So it's something to do about diarrhea. But
Why is diarrhea hereditary? Because it runs in your genes.
Yeah.
And you actually get Joel laughing here.
Yeah, proper. Yeah.
So that's just really, really nice as well. And the episode ends with because Joel sets up glass like as a sort of a sound system. If someone comes in, will step in the glass and all that.
Clever,
And we do get a cool thing here where Ellie points out that, well, you know, you don't hear so well out of a certain ear, and he says, "Oh, it's because of shooting and all that kind of thing." I'm not sure if it is. I think it comes back from when his daughter got shot.
Yes.
And the bullet probly damages hearing then. I think that's what that is a hint towards. But they get waken up. Ellie wakes him up in the night and at gunpoint by 2 boys basically. One a smaller one, an older one, and that kind of thing. This is Henry and Sam from the game. But the episode ends with Sam saying shush like that, and that's it. They're not bad guys, so there is that. I'll drop that spoiler there for you. It's all about setup. It's an episode all about setup for me personally. I have no issue with it. I enjoyed it. I followed along. It went fast again. Do I want a bit more fast-paced stuff? Of course, particularly as I would argue that the last episode wasn't fast-paced either. But we're giving that one a buy because of obviously the emotional heft to it.
Yeah.
The thing is, I know it's coming. And I know it's coming next. It's no secret, as of the time of recording, that episode number 5 is coming earlier and has been touted. And if you've seen the promotional poster for it, you know shit's about to go down.
Yep.
That's why an episode like this is important. You can't have every episode fast. Particularly as we've got to develop Joel and Ellie's relationship. But yes, the idea of now the infected and overrunning this city and this outpost and this group, well, Joel and Ellie are also trying to escape. Shit's going to get exciting, man. It's going to be frantic. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
But I did enjoy this episode because I like you. I like just watching Joel and Ellie sometimes.
Yeah, so like I said, they've got amazing chemistry.
Yeah, they really click.
Yeah, definitely. I said, and I just think overall they're both. I mean, considering she's like only 13, 14.
14,
she's a very good actress.
Oh yeah.
And obviously,
well, she's a lot older. I think she's like 18.
I
think she's like 18, but she's playing obviously a younger girl because she looks young.
I mean, she plays the part well, and obviously Pedro Pascal, he's
great.
He's impressed me a lot. I mean, I've seen him in Game of Thrones. Obviously, he was good in that, and apart from that, I've not seen him in much.
Mandalorian. Who's the Mandalorian?
Is he? I've not seen Mandalorian yet. So I'll
call himself a Star Wars fan, and he's not watching.
I have my reasons.
And he's not the best. He's not watching the best thing to come from Star Wars in literally 30 odd years.
I'm annoyed that I've got to wait every week for this.
Mandalorian has 2 seasons.
I know it does, but I know season 3 is coming out in like a month's time. But
craziness! This is crazy.
I'm waiting for it.
That's crazy. My God, that is crazy talk.
I did not know he's the Mandalorian, so there you go.
He is the Mandalorian.
Even better.
He is the Mandalorian. So yes, probably should check that out. It's the best thing that not I want to get off topic, but I'm sure we'd all agree it's the best thing to come from Star Wars since the original trilogy. Am I right, folks? You know I am. But yeah, so it's just thoroughly enjoyable to watch. I enjoy it as well, world building. I want to see how isolated and how decayed and how destroyed the world is. I enjoy that aspect of it. I also think it's cool that they said it at the end of the last episode 3, but here it's made a bit clear, this is the plan. He even talks to her about Tommy and explained Tommy and all that. And I do love you've got that brother thing where it's almost kind of like, yeah, he's an idiot because he does this and he does that. But his family, and I've got to go, I've got to look out for him. That kind of thing. So I'm excited for that reunion eventually as well.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
There you go. Please hold to my hand. Episode 4 of The Last of Us. We're enjoying it still. Really looking forward to what comes next. What do you reckon? You got any thoughts on this one? You know what to do. Let us know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked what you saw, please help us out by giving us a thumbs up and hitting that subscribe button. If you really liked what you saw, consider donating to keep the website and channel running by buying us a coffee via our coffee page or picking up some merch from our Big Cartel store. You can check us out on gbhbl.com as well as via our social media, Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, as well as listen to our interviews via SoundCloud, Apple Music and Spotify. Just search for GBHBL. Games, horror and heavy metal. What else is life for?